In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the tech zone.
You are in the Tech Zone, and I'm your host, Paul Amadeus Lane, here on ABC News Radio KMIT. Big shout out to our viewers out there on YouTube and live stream. Checking it out on iHeartRadio. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What else? Yeah, iHeart, iTunes, Spreaker, Stitcher, Dreezer, Google Podcast. We got you covered. Thank you so much for supporting the show. We are just, weeks away from CES 2020. Again, we'll be out there broadcasting live from the show floor, giving updates. CES is my world. I love it, love it, love it. No doubt, you may be thinking about traveling during this time. A lot of people got time off work. They want to visit family, airports, maybe cruising, different places out there. One thing that I thought was the coolest thing invented was these little USB cell phone charging stations that you would see in public. I was like, wow, I can charge my phone up at any time. There's a risk, however, to your personal information, for your banking information, if you use those public charging stations. And I'm so happy to have a digital expert on to help you and I understand the dangers of using those type of public charging stations. Joining me right now, cybersecurity expert, my friend, Alon Giha. How you doing, Alon?
Doing great. Thank you so much, Paul.
Hey, great to have you, my friend. When I decided to reach out to you, it was something that really disturbed me. It was a article on ABC's corporate website locally about using these USB charging stations to charge our phones when we're in the airport, when we're at the convention centers. Alon, you want to give us some good advice when it comes to that. What is that advice?
That is actually a really good article, and I actually sent it to a bunch of my friends that do travel a lot. I travel a lot. The thing is that when you plug in a USB into any computer, whether it's charging or not, I don't know if you notice sometime in the plane, if you put your USB on the TV screen and you want to charge, they ask you, even the plane seat will ask you, do you allow access to your device? It should normally ask you, and then of course you should say no, because God knows what the seat is going to download. The point is that if you are charging your phone, you just need to use an outlet. If you use a USB, you are connecting into a software, a hard drive that grants that device to all your data. This is what USBs are for, is to connect and to transfer information. So you're essentially, the charging is secondary. That's a second thought. The real issue is that when you put a USB outlet into anything, it will basically mean that you are granting them access to your data. Now, when you look at malicious software and malicious people, they essentially make it so that you have no idea. You won't even get the little notification, do you accept this device to synchronize with your phone? So when you're on an airplane seat, well, I say no anyway, because you never know, but there's nothing that airplane seat is going to download. When you're in an airport, and these airports are serviced by third-party IT people, you could have an infiltration of a hacker within the IT person that services the airport. And so whenever you plug into a computer desk, you are essentially giving away your entire information, and also you expose yourself to a malware, a software that will come in to your device and later basically hack you and all the people in your contact list.
Wow. And Alon, this is like blowing me away because when we first started seeing these different hubs in public places, we were like, "Oh yeah, we'll never run out of juice. We can charge up our phones." But it's something how we never think about the security part of it that we need to really just protect ourselves. And I'm still like shocked, man, because I'm mad at myself that I didn't think about this sooner and earlier. And thank you for educating ourselves about that. So, what are some things that we can do? Let's say if we need to get some more juice or something.
Well, if you need juice, they have these devices that you can buy, sometime at airport shops as well. It has sometime like a bigger USB format or an extra charger, and you'll have to carry it. You pre-charge it in an outlet, preferably, and then you have this portable battery with a USB plug-in, and at least you know it's your own device and nobody tampered with it. Because going back just a second to these airport lounges, we are past the guy in a hoodie in a dark room trying to hack you. Data is very valuable. It's more valuable than oil today. So you have huge criminal organizations that have these front companies, IT firms, and other that service, for example, the airports. And this is big business. This is, I think every year, as of next year, the malware and hacking is costing the global economy $6 trillion a year. So there's big money to be made there. So I wanted to point that, some people might say, well, nobody's going to go to the LA airport and mess up with the chair that has a USB. They will, because these are IT people that manage that. You're not having a carpenter managing a USB. These are IT companies that come, they outfit these seats, they outfit everything, these terminals, and then they maintain them too. Because if the USB plug breaks, they call the IT manager, the tech company, to come and fix it. That tech company could have, a malicious intent. So I would typically buy a secondary battery in a USB plug. You carry it with you as you travel. I think you're never more than 12 hours away from another outlet, because plane travel, unless you go to Asia, is really no more than 5, 6 hours typically. And you can find outlets in some of these airports.
More valuable than oil. I mean, think about this, Alon. Where we're at in the stream of time, where ones can get enriched off of criminal acts. I guess that's no different than what everybody's been doing throughout the year, throughout time now. But when we see
Absolutely.
when we see just the information that ones can hack into, who pays for instance, if we get hacked, do we pay for it personally? Do the banks pay for it? Who really feels the crunch of these malicious acts?
Well, first of all, we pay. We are the biggest payer because we are affected because we cannot access our data or that data is corrupted. So there's a loss of income, a loss of productivity, and sometimes a loss of asset. You may have a valuable document or an email that you needed that now is corrupted or gone. Secondly, if my credit card is tampered with, the credit card company usually has a policy. You pay your first $50 and then the rest the credit card company pays. If it's a debit Visa card, this is the trick. A lot of people now use these debit cards that have the Visa logo on it. Well, as a debit card, you are 100% liable. If the bank is nice to you and they may write off the charges, but if it's a debit card and you've been compromised, chances are you are liable for that financial loss. Somebody can go in your account and charge all sorts of things. If you don't catch it on time, the bank could say, well, it's a debit card, you're liable for it. So you have to check with your bank. I would recommend that. I've had that happen years ago in New York. That was before the chip and pin. And if you notice when you go, well, not anymore. Now, nobody checks your debit card. You just tap and go. Back then, there was no chip either. They would just swipe it and then charge it for you. So I had an issue one time. with TD Bank. They were very nice enough and they wiped out all the charges because I could prove that I was in New York City when somebody charged alcohol upstate or something. But definitely, we are the first people to pay. Then the bank pays. But then we end up paying because the bank will increase their charges, their monthly charges. We end up paying at the end, one way or another, financially. So it's a lot better to be a little bit more precaution minded than to pay a big financial burden later on.
And Alon, one thing that I'm glad you brought up as far as the debit card with the Visa logo and how we could be 100% liable for that. Well, one thing that I don't particularly like what the banks have done was we used to could use our ATM, our savings account, to pay for things in the store. But if you don't have a Visa logo on it, they will not allow you to use it or a chip on it now. Why, if you can speak to that, why in the world did they start doing that?
I'm sure, obviously, they make more money. Banks don't do anything for people, they make money for their shareholders. So, I recommend you buy some banking stocks because they make a lot of money. But essentially, what they do is, the consumer, it's a way for the convenience, again, the same problem. So if a consumer says, well, I don't want to carry two credit card. I don't really use a credit card. I want to have a Visa card. Also, you have people, it started like that. People with bad credit that couldn't apply for a Visa or a MasterCard. They used to have way back these prepaid or you have this $500 guarantee and you have a $500 line of credit. That was cumbersome for the banks. So the bank said, you know what? You don't need to have good credit. Now, as long as you have money in your bank account, you can use a Visa card. That's how it started. I'm not sure if you are liable if somebody takes money with your Visa debit card today with a chip and PIN. I honestly don't know. I would recommend somebody to take a look and just ask the bank and say, if my card is compromised, my debit card with a Visa logo on it, am I liable for all of the charges? Do I pay the first $50? Am I liable for anything?
Mm,
That's the first thing you should ask your bank.
that's a very good point, Alon. We need to find out before a hack happens because if they say no, bruh, you're liable for all of it. We're like, OMG, especially if somebody can get in there, especially during this time right now, where people are traveling, they can screw up
Yeah,
your whole trip, man. They can wipe out your account. You can be stranded over in I don't know other part of the world.
you can be stranded over in another part of the world without money and try to explain to the operator of the bank. If I may say so, without naming the person or the bank, last week I was in a city in the US, and I will not mention where, somebody I know uh, got a text in their phone with their username of the bank. So they use Bank X, they have a username and a password. The username of that person was on the text. Imagine that. And it was something like, contact the bank or click here, username so and so. We updated this. I knew it was a hack. I was having dinner with that person. I told that person to show me the thing. I knew right away it wasn't normal. That person contacted their bank. It took like 5, 6 days for the bank to figure out that it was a hack attempt, and that person's relative already got hacked from that bank. And we are talking about one of the top three banks in America. So it happens now, big time. Holiday, everybody needs to make money. Hackers are going to steal your credit card info, sell it in the dark web for like between $10 to $50 per card. They make a ton of money. This is the most important time of the year to be careful about what you do, who you hand your card to, all of that. If you go to a restaurant, don't ever hand your card away. Have them bring the machine to you.
Mm-hmm.
If you shop online, never store your credit card number on the website. It's okay. You'll spend an extra 30 seconds re-inputting your info. Remember, convenience, when it comes to security, it doesn't exist. The more convenient you want things, the more vulnerable you are.
Wow, Alon, you've given us so Much food for thought, like you always do when we have you on. Look forward to having you on next month. We'll talk about some more cybersecurity issues. But if ones would like to find out more information on how to protect themselves and things out there that can help them, how can they do so, my friend?
Well, you can go to our website, www.globexdatagroup.com. That's globexdatagroup.com. So globexdatagroup.com. You can contact us via the form there. We are revamping our website, so I think end of January we will have a special section with cybersecurity articles, advice. You can also go to Twitter. We post a lot of good information on Twitter. Twitter, basically our call is Globex Data, GLOBEXDATA. You can also now look at us in the financial world. Our ticker symbol trading on the US exchange is SWI, Swiss. So SWISF. Traded on the OTC QB exchange. We have some information about our company there. But I think if you go to Twitter, you'll find some good article. You can go to LinkedIn and read some of the stuff that we post, Globex Data Ltd. So now we're all over. I think we have a Facebook account that our marketing company manages, Globex Data Ltd. But I think Twitter is a great way to go to read some of the articles that we post or contact us to our website. As well. And I think in about a couple of months, we'll have a lot more. We'll have a special section just on cybersecurity.
Awesome. Alon, looking forward to chatting with you next month, my friend. Thank you so much for giving us all this great information and food for thought.
Thank you, Paul, and happy holidays to you. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to all your listeners, and have a very safe and hack-free event, hopefully.
Thank you. I appreciate that, my friend. A huge shout out to my man, Alon Gihai, cybersecurity expert, giving us some food for thought. I mean, have you ever thought about that when you use those public, charging stations? So definitely get you something secure to charge your cell phone, like a cell phone brick, or something that you control. All right, before we go to our last and final break out there, if you're looking to get some Mac product, MacBook Pro, the desktop, go visit my friends at Otherworld Computing. Go visit them at owc.com/techzone. You do that, that unlocks some great pricing out there for some of these products, and you may can find some peripherals you've been looking for as well. All right. When we get back, it's all about CES 2020. Going to be joined by a very special guest to talk about what's in store for the Super Bowl of technology. Coming up in a couple of weeks. Be right back after this.
In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the tech zone.